All right, so today we're going to take a deep dive into building command line applications,
Right.
specifically using the Go programming language,
All right.
and this really cool library called Cobra.
Cool.
Our guide for this deep dive is a blog post by someone who calls themselves an old software plumber.
Interesting.
His name is Meng Ang,
Okay.
and he basically walks us through his experience setting up a CLI app using this Cobra library.
Cool.
What really caught my eye, and I think will resonate with you, is his focus on good defaults.
Yeah, defaults are important.
They can really speed things up,
Yeah.
but also some of the kind of unexpected hiccups you run into along the way.
Yeah, it's easy to overlook those sometimes.
Absolutely. And speaking of potential pitfalls,
Okay.
Meng starts off with this kind of cautionary tale about the whole AI craze.
Interesting.
She was talking about how he initially turned to these AI chatbots for help with setting up his Cobra project.
Yeah, makes sense.
But he quickly realized that he had to double-check the chatbot's advice with, good old-fashioned search engines.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So like Google search.
Yeah,
I love
Google
it.
Bing, whatever.
Wow, that's kind of surprising that you'd have to double check something like that.
Yeah, I think it highlights how AI, even for seemingly simple tasks,
Right.
can sometimes lead you down the wrong path.
Yeah, lead you astray.
Exactly. And he actually gives a really specific example.
Okay.
Some of these chatbots were recommending that he set up the project manually, like step by step,
Okay.
which, if you don't know any better, sounds reasonable.
Right.
But then he does a search online,
Uh-huh.
and he finds out about this thing called the cobra-cli application,
Okay.
which is specifically designed to bootstrap Cobra projects.
Oh, so it automates all that manual setup.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
So he could have saved himself a lot of time and effort
Yeah.
if he'd just started with a quick search.
That's a classic case of work smarter, not harder.
Exactly. And it leads perfectly into his next point.
Okay.
The beauty of defaults and conventions.
Yeah.
So even though he's relatively new to Go, he was just blown away by how sensible the defaults were
Yeah, Go is known for that.
that are provided by both Go and Cobra.
Makes things a lot easier.
It does, yeah, and it gets into this whole philosophy of convention over configuration,
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
which basically aims to, streamline development by providing these predefined choices
Right.
likely to work well in, most scenarios.
So you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time.
Exactly.
You can just focus on the unique parts of your project.
Yeah, it's like having this pre-built foundation to get you started instead of having to design everything from scratch,
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
especially for beginners. I can see how that would be incredibly helpful.
For sure.
Now, I could also see how that could potentially limit flexibility.
Right.
Like, what if you need to do something that's outside of those conventions?
Well, then you might have to override some of those defaults.
Exactly.
But in a lot of cases, you'll find that the defaults are good enough.
So it's a trade-off.
Yeah, there's always trade-offs.
But in this case, it sounds like the defaults were a huge win for Meng.
Yeah, I can see that.
Now, let's actually see how he used this cobra-cli tool to set up his project.
All right, let's dive into that.
I'm curious to see how it all works in practice.
Yeah, me too.
So from his blog post, it looks like he's using an Ubuntu system.
Okay.
First step is he has to install the necessary packages for Cobra.
Makes sense.
Then he uses the cobra-cli init command to actually create this new project.
Okay.
What's interesting here is the initial project structure that it generates.
Oh, really?
It's very organized,
Oh, that's good.
separate folders for commands and then the main code files.
Okay.
And it seems like, that would make things much easier to manage as the project grows.
Yeah, definitely helps with modularity.
Absolutely keeps things nice and tidy.
Exactly, and easy to navigate.
Now get this, when he actually runs the application,
Yeah.
it already has some basic functionality built in,
Oh, wow.
including help text,
Ah.
which Cobra generates automatically.
Nice little bonus.
It's those little things
Exactly. They really add up.
that make the development process smoother.
Totally.
So he's got the basic structure in place.
Yeah.
Now, what does he do to start customizing things?
Well, he adds his author information and license to the project using the CLI.
Okay.
But here's a funny little detail. He initially forgets to include these.
No.
And he has to re-execute the command.
Oh, we've all been there.
Yeah, it's a relatable mistake.
It is. It's like, oh, shoot.
Yeah, gotta go back and fix that.
All right, so he found a way to avoid that happening again, though, right?
He discovered that he could set up his author information and preferred license in a default configuration file
Oh, that's smart.
called .cobra.iml. It lives in his home directory.
So every time he creates a new project,
Mm-hmm.
Cobra automatically pulls in those preferences.
Exactly.
It's like setting up your development environment for success from the get-go.
Precisely.
Really smart. Okay, now I have to bring this up because I found it both amusing and kind of thought-provoking.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
So he gets a bit annoyed by the Unicode copyright symbol that cobra-cli uses in the generated code.
Oh,
He
really?
actually prefers the plain text.
See.
I
Interesting.
kind of get where he's coming from, you know?
Yeah, I can see that.
Those fancy Unicode characters sometimes cause more trouble than they're worth.
Especially if you're working across different platforms.
Yeah, or if you've got colleagues with different text editor settings.
Right. Could lead to some inconsistencies.
Absolutely.
It could.
It's a great example of how even these seemingly minor details
Yeah,
can really impact the developer experience.
for sure.
And it kind of circles back to what we were talking about earlier about automation.
Right.
It's not always about achieving this like perfect aesthetic.
Yeah. Sometimes simplicity is better,
Sometimes simplicity and clarity are more valuable.
especially in code.
Right.
You want it to be readable and understandable.
It's a good reminder that we still need to be in control of these tools even when they're designed to make our lives easier.
Yeah, we can't just blindly trust them.
So far, we've covered a lot.
We have.
We've talked about verifying information,
Right.
leveraging good defaults,
Uh-huh.
being mindful of the limitations of automation.
Important stuff.
It's like Kian Meng is taking us on this guided tour of, the practical realities of working with Cobra.
Yeah, I like that analogy.
And he's doing it with a good sense of humor,
Right. He doesn't take himself too seriously.
which I appreciate.
Makes it more enjoyable to read.
Definitely. And it makes his insights that much more valuable because, he's not afraid to admit his mistakes.
Right. He's sharing his learning process with us.
Exactly. And that's really helpful for everyone.
It is.
So let's continue this journey and see what other lessons we can learn from his experience.
Sounds good. I'm ready for more.
Okay, so we're back. And you know what I thought was really cool is that Kian Meng talks about how easy it is to add subcommands to your application
Oh, yeah. Cobra's great for that.
using Cobra.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he uses the add command
Okay.
to create these two subcommands
Yeah.
called foo and bar.
Foo and bar, the classic examples.
It really is. And it's just, such a simple way
Uh-huh.
to expand the functionality of your command line interface.
Right. Just a few commands and you've got new features.
Exactly. And each of these subcommands automatically comes with its own help text.
Oh, that's handy.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, so you don't have to write that all yourself.
It's like Cobra's already thinking about the user experience.
Exactly, making it easy for people to use your tool.
And Kian Meng even points out that the help text is context aware.
Oh, really?
So it actually changes depending on which subcommand you're currently using.
Oh, that's a nice touch.
Isn't that
Yeah,
cool?
yeah, very user-friendly.
I'm also curious about how Cobra handles licenses
Okay.
because it looks like he uses the generate subcommand and it automatically includes the license text in the header
Oh, wow, that's convenient.
of all the code files that it generates.
Yeah, that's a huge time saver.
So it's like a built-in legal assistant for your code.
I like that.
Super smart. Speaking of helpful features,
Yeah.
remember how Kian Meng had that little mishap where he forgot to include his author information and the license
Oh, yeah.
details? Well, he found a pretty clever solution to prevent that from happening again.
Okay, how do you do that?
He discovered this .cobra.eml configuration file.
Okay.
It basically lives in your home directory.
Uh-huh.
And it's this like central repository for all your Cobra preferences.
Oh, so you set it up once and then you're good to go.
Exactly. It's like a set it and forget it approach to configuration.
I love those kinds of solutions.
Me too.
Okay.
But, even with all these bells and whistles,
Yeah.
Kian Meng still manages to find something that gugs him,
What's that?
the copyright symbol.
Oh, yeah, that.
He was a little bit frustrated.
I remember that.
With the Unicode copyright symbol that
Mm.
cobra-cli used in the generated code.
He just wanted the plain text.
He did. He just
Or
wanted
say
to
sometimes simpler is better.
And I kind of get it.
Yeah, I could see that.
Sometimes those fancy Unicode characters cause more trouble than they're worth.
Especially when you're dealing with different operating systems and text editors.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
It's a great example of how even these tiny little details
Yeah,
can have a big impact on the developer experience.
they really can.
And it kind of brings us back to that idea of automation not always being about perfection.
Right.
Sometimes it's about, simplicity and clarity.
Yeah, make it easy to read and understand.
Exactly. And it's a good reminder that as developers,
Mhm.
we still need to be aware of the limitations of the tools that we use.
Right. And be ready to step in and make adjustments when needed.
And not just blindly rely on them to do everything perfectly.
Exactly. We still need to use our brains.
I love how Qian Meng's blog post is full of these little nuggets of wisdom.
Me too. It's not just a technical manual, it's like a story.
It is. It's like he's sharing his thought process and the lessons he's learned along the way.
And his mistakes.
Which is great.
Which makes it so much more valuable.
Yeah. We can all learn from that.
It really highlights the importance of verifying information.
Right.
Leveraging those good defaults. Understanding the power and limitations of automation.
Yeah.
And just applying some critical thinking.
It's all about being a good developer.
It is. And it's not just about mastering the technical skills.
Sure.
It's also about having the right mindset.
Exactly.
You know, being willing to learn and adapt and experiment.
And not be afraid to make mistakes.
And to share those experiences with others.
Which Qian Meng does so well.
He does. So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive,
Okay.
what would you say are the most important takeaways for our listeners?
Well, I think the key takeaway is that being an expert developer is not just about the technical stuff.
Right.
It's about being able to learn and adapt and think critically.
Yeah.
And Qian Meng is a great example of that.
He really is. He approaches every problem with curiosity and a willingness to try new things.
And he's not afraid to share
Yeah.
his successes and his failures.
Exactly. And that's what makes him such a valuable resource for other developers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the final part of our deep dive and see what other insights we can glean from Qian Meng's journey.
I'm ready.
It's kind of inspiring to see someone like Qian Meng
Yeah.
who describes himself as like inexperienced with Go.
Right.
Just dive headfirst into this project
Mm-hmm.
and be so open about sharing his journey.
I agree.
And his blog post isn't just, a dry technical walkthrough.
No, it's not.
He really injects his personality into it.
Yeah.
Makes it engaging and relatable.
It's fun to read.
It is, and it's a good reminder that you don't have to be an expert
Right.
to explore new technologies
Uh-huh.
and learn valuable lessons.
You can learn a lot by just diving in.
Exactly. And, his experience with Cobra highlights something really important.
Okay, what's that?
Even when a framework or a library offers all these helpful features
Yeah.
and, sensible defaults,
Right.
there's still a learning curve.
Oh, definitely.
And that's where the real growth happens, right?
Absolutely.
When you encounter those roadblocks and you have to figure things out.
Yeah, you got to problem solve.
Exactly.
That's how you really learn.
It's not always about having all the answers.
Right.
It's about having that tenacity to keep searching.
Keep digging until you find the solution.
And it's about developing that problem-solving mindset
Mm-hmm.
that's so essential in software development.
And really in any field
Right.
where you're constantly learning and adapting.
Exactly.
Things change so quickly these days.
Qian Meng's journey is also a great reminder that, mistakes are inevitable.
Oh, yeah, you're going to make mistakes.
But there are also valuable opportunities for growth.
Absolutely.
It's all about learning from them.
Right. And not being afraid to fail.
And he doesn't shy away from sharing those aha moments.
Those are the best.
Where you finally figure something out.
Yeah, those breakthrough moments.
And it just clicks.
Like a light bulb going off.
Exactly. And you know what else I thought was interesting?
What's that?
Is that he points out that even AI-powered tools aren't always the perfect solution.
Yeah, they're not magic.
Right. He mentions that cobra-cli doesn't generate test code automatically.
Oh, interesting.
And even when you use AI to generate test code,
Uh-huh.
it's not always reliable.
Makes sense.
So it's a good reminder that we can't just blindly rely on automation.
Great. We still need to understand what's going on under the hood.
We need to be able to evaluate the output
Yeah.
and make informed decisions
Use our own judgment.
based on our specific needs.
Exactly.
We should be using these tools as aids, not replacements for our own knowledge.
They're tools, not replacements for our brains.
Right. So to wrap up our deep dive into Qian Meng's experience with Cobra,
Okay.
I think his blog post offers a ton of practical insights.
Yeah, it's really helpful.
For anyone who's working with Cobra, or even just exploring new technologies in general,
It's a great read.
it really is. And it's a reminder that,
Yeah.
you should never be afraid to just dive in.
Dive in and get your hands dirty.
Make mistakes, learn from those experiences.
Exactly.
Who knows? You might discover something amazing along the way.
You never know what you'll find.
Well, that's our deep dive for today.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining me.